whole thing to look. I can't find him here.
He'll know when he get home and all this shit going.
Oh, okay. I thought you might be like, I found him.
He came up quick.
He did. That's what you were like. I found him.
All right, here we go. What is this, B?
Michigan, that's all you need to
college-
know.
The College World Series. If Michigan win this game, they have a chance. But if they
Trying to
lose,
take his head off.
if they lose, it's gonna be a game, final game 3. It's only 2 out of 3.
That's a terrible bunt.
It is.
He had like he was scared of it.
It's only 2 out of 3 in the College World Series.
You looking like that? You did that. I'm off camera. People can't.
Yeah, I had to.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it moved over when I was looking for
You hit record on the Zoom.
the kids. Oh yeah, it's live now.
I'm on the Zoom.
Oh yeah, you did say
Okay.
Zoom. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead in Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth B. Inge. Joining me every week, BZ430
What up, though?
and Mr. Disrespect, aka Nikki Duce,
What's up? What's going on?
and FIFO 24/7 couldn't make it this week, so you got.
Because he old, trying to go to sleep, trying to be in bed by 10.
So yeah, so it's just us, man. The three of Negroes. So
Yes, Negroes.
so anyway, slow week, man. Most of you guys watch sports. You know that when the playoffs are over, when the basketball playoffs are over, it dry up real quick, which is probably why they do the NBA awards the week after the playoffs, or after the draft, which we'll be recapping that in today's show. And then people get ready for football. So it's not a lot, so it may not be a long show. But yeah, so we'll recap the NBA awards tonight, go over a couple of free agent rumors and some decisions that have already been made, pending executive decisions that have been made. And that'll be it, man. So yeah. So where are we gonna start?
The NBA War Show?
Did y'all watch it?
Felt like there was something else I wanted to mention, but I can't remember.
I watched it on social media. I was at Controller Rise last night. Me and myself and the Dead End gaming crew and a few other folks that I didn't expect to see there that was there, which was dope. Yamin was there.
Damn.
Everybody was there, man. It was a lot of Dead End hip hop fans, like people that came up to me and Mike was like, "Oh man, like I'm a huge fan of Dead End hip hop." Like, so that was pretty dope, man. And it was a DJ from Detroit that was there. It was dope. Yeah, last night was dope as hell. It was dope. Like all of us was there. I'm like, man. And then we just saw some old folks, and we saw some other people that me and Ken is cool with too that was there. It was like, damn. Like, this is a crazy night. I didn't
It's
leave
the
there.
new spot.
Yeah, I didn't leave there till like almost 1 o'clock, man.
God
like,
damn.
Yeah, I know. Time went by. I mean, we was kind of having fun, man. Time went by fast. You look up, I'm like, it was 12:55. Like, man, let me take my ass home. I gotta get up and go to work.
was probably just going to sleep or I just dozed off. Probably about 20 minutes before then.
Yeah.
I was trying.
Was that at Monday Night Garage?
Yeah, it was at Monday Night Garage.
gotta
That's
go.
my first time there, and that's their
It's-
new spot.
Yeah.
That's their new spot now. It used
It's
to
a
be at
dope
the deep
spot,
end.
ain't it?
It is,
It's a
man.
dope spot, yeah.
It's a dope spot.
I haven't been there for the game. I just go there just casually.
Food was good.
Yeah.
and everything.
I never had
yeah.
their food, but this.
Yeah, they had like a little vegan thing for Mike. Mike was like, "Man, I love this shit. Mike was, I love this."
You know, that rabbit food.
Mike was loving it, man. It was dope. Mike, I'm like, Mike, you up here been hanging with the Dead End crew a lot lately, man. What's up? Yeah, so it's funny. I was just messing with him when I was telling him, like, you been hanging around, you been around us a little lot lately, Mike. What you trying to say? We cool or something? Shit. But yeah, it was dope. So I didn't get a chance to watch it. But of course, when I was leaving, before I started driving, I was looking on my phone, looking like pretty much on the NBA Twitter timeline, like seeing who all won what, looking at the speeches.
Yeah.
They showed this one dope thing. I thought that was really cool how they show like if Magic and Bird was drafted in today, this is what it would look like. And they were just showing like Magic Johnson, like social media stuff, and like it was dope as hell, man. I was like, damn, it would probably look like that. And it was crazy how they was able to like show Magic, when he first got like they computerized how it looked like it was younger Magic today
Mhm.
getting drafted and showing Bird and showing them winning, and then you seeing like First Take talking about Magic, talking about Bird and all that. Like it was
that's-
dope, man.
that's
You
dope.
didn't see that?
Nah,
clip?
I didn't. I started watching
I think
it.
they showed it last night, but that was dope.
I started watching as soon as Magic and Bird got on stage.
Oh,
As
for their
far-
Lifetime
for
achieve-
for
yeah.
their speech, and then I saw Giannis's speech, and then it just pretty much ended out after that. But
I think they should have that in different cities. I think that would be dope if they do the NBA award ceremonies in every city that has an NBA team. I think that would be dope.
yeah, moving around like
yeah,
All Star.
move-
yeah,
Kyle.
moving, yeah, huh?
Doesn't it look like Kyle? I thought that
A
was
little
Kyle.
bit, a little bit. But yeah, I think that would be dope.
Yeah.
That should be a dope idea if NBA would do that. Like you said, just like the All Star, have it in different cities. Whatever city that has an NBA team, have that award show every year in different
That's more
cities.
money. Hey, that's more money for the NBA.
Yeah,
I'd never watch it. Yeah, it feels like the ESPYs to me, man. Like I never
It is
watched the
kind of
ESPY.
SBS
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But
it's-
I mean, these are still big awards for the NBA, so you still want to. I feel like I would like for them to do it earlier, but
Mhm.
I don't see how they can, especially with some of the awards. But it still feels so late and so like a much of an afterthought. That was my thing because I didn't even know it was on the other night. Like I just like my homies just turned it on like, oh shit, it's the NBA awards. Let me.
wow.
yeah. I
It's
think
Larry
this
Bird
is-
and Magic Johnson talking.
I think it's their second or third year doing this.
I know Drake did the first one like a few years ago.
So this must be their third
yeah,
year.
it's
then.
not, it
This
ain't
must be
that
the third
long
year.
because they changed
Yeah.
up the whole format for it.
Yeah, my dad don't like it.
Yeah.
He liked he liked the way you, because he feel like when the players get that award in front of the fans, he feel like it's more rewarding. Like it's like you're taking away from the fans when you don't have it at the venues where the fans are at.
Mhm.
Like so, that was his reasoning.
So
why
where
he
are they
didn't like it.
they holding it at? Because I saw some other people complaining
That's
about
it.
I
that.
think it was in
LA?
L.A. Yeah, I
But
think
it's just in front of their peers and NBA exec.
It's like a LA type of benefit setup. Like it's not really like
Oh,
it's not really meant for the people.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
not
just
meant
for
for
the
public.
players.
yeah.
that doesn't make sense.
That's why my dad don't like it. He like, yeah, I like it better.
It's like the BET Awards. Like,
yeah,
But the players don't vote for these awards anyway, right?
it's mostly the critics, some
reporters.
fan stuff, reporters, and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I
Looked at the highlights.
I go to Bleacher Report and like who won what. I don't even care to hear what they had to say or any of that stuff. Just who won. Shout out to Cage Ratting the Rock, man. He said it's been 3 years since he caught one of our shows.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Damn, where you been, brother?
Right. Mr. AJ9 said so disrespectful. Talking about you, Nick. And then Coors, I think we did talk about the Mike Conley trade, right? Did we?
Last week.
He
we
said
talked, we
he
talked
said
about
we
it
didn't.
a little bit. Nah, we didn't. Well, no, we did talk about a little bit during the NBA
'Cause
draft.
I wasn't
That's
here- I wasn't
right.
here
That's
last
We
right.
talked
Because
about
we
it-
did the
we
draft.
touched on
yeah.
it, but we were mostly focused on just the draft.
yeah,
but,
yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right.
I mean, it was a great trade. I think for Utah. I mean, how else are they gonna get a star like that or a player
Right.
like that? So they gotta
Yep.
do the Oklahoma City thing. You gotta trade for people. So,
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I know it seems like a lot. I think the first made it appear like a lot. The players, you can get a Kyle Korver, you can get a Jay Crowder, Grace Allen. If he turns out
I
to
never
be a
even see.
star.
I don't think I even saw him play like
Right. So those guys, they're replacement level players.
that. Mhm.
So you can get guys that can do those type of things, those specialist positions. And the second round picks, I think, are
Yeah, I
whatever.
think people for me, it was mostly I think they had a first round pick in there.
Yeah, that's what I
first-round
don't
picks.
like.
But if you're not picking outside, if you picking outside the top 5, it don't really matter.
It don't.
True.
Yeah.
And Utah, they're gonna be a good team. I don't know if they
upgraded at that
if
position.
they had someone else's pick or it was their pick, but nonetheless, it's a crapshoot for the draft anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky Rubio, I think he's not coming back. I don't think they want him back. Mike Conley is way better than him. I don't care what the analytics say for the people that sent me that stuff on Twitter.
they should use some analytics.
Yeah,
crap.
talking about, it's not that much separating them. Watch the
I was about to say, if
games.
you having a pickup game between and your last pick
Right.
between Mike Conley and Ricky Rubio, you're gonna be like, who the hell is Ricky Rubio?
We saw Ricky Rubio in the playoffs last year, not this year, last year, and he was a hot mess. He had that one game against Westbrook, and then that was it. But watch the games, man. Mike Conley is just way better, and Mike Conley has carried a franchise.
he
by
is
himself.
underrated.
Yeah, he's very underrated. He's very underrated.
Because he's in Memphis and because there's too many good guards in the West. So that's why he didn't get an all-star appearance. But, yeah, that was a great trade for
Yeah.
Utah.
So, anyway, so there you go, homie. So, we're going to get back to the NBA awards recap. So, did you watch or listen to Giannis' speech?
Yeah, I did. It was a little awkward, but it was heartfelt. It was, like, heartfelt.
What was awkward about
because he just walked up in there and he was just like, I'm nervous. And he took a long pause. It actually reminded me a lot of
KD?
The NBA BET Awards. Nipsey's mom, I think, was speaking, and it was like it was heartfelt, but it was awkward. Like you kind of got it, but it was like you kind of running like.
Was he about to cry?
He did. He cried.
Okay.
He started off a little teardrop, and
So
then he
maybe
started
that's what it
boo-hooing.
was.
Yeah, he started boo-hooing.
So he had that movie tear?
Yeah, but he started
This
getting.
fool said that movie too.
You know they had that one tear that dropped? That's what
Yeah.
Zion had.
Yeah,
Zion had.
yeah, that one
Nah,
tear, yeah.
but it went straight
He
to
was
Viola Davis. After a few more minutes when he got in it, he had snot running out his mouth. He was
yeah, 'cause
going
he
in.
talking about his father and stuff.
Yeah,
and
he was
like
talking
how
about his pops.
yeah,
He was
'cause
talking about his
pops
mom
passed away,
is his biggest hero. He was talking about his teammates. How every time he go on the court, like it was a great speech all in all. But it was just a long speech, you know. I mean, it wasn't like
dope how it came full circle because Kobe told him 2 years ago like MVP.
yeah,
Like, and then Kobe tweeted him like well good job like next to the championship like that should be your next goal
Yeah.
now. You got MVP.
you
now,
put the world on notice, and
now you need it.
and
Yeah.
FIFA he gonna be mad if I mention. Yeah, FIFA, you was right about Giannis being MVP, but shit, it don't matter. He wasn't champion. He didn't get the
You
dub.
didn't think he was going to be MVP?
I thought I didn't.
I know you for a second.
No,
Was,
I doubted only because of his comments on it.
right.
Oh.
I remember you saying that. I remember you
I
saying
doubted,
that.
but I was like, but
He
yeah,
wasn't
should-
down him. He's like skilled. Like you
Yeah.
wasn't saying he didn't deserve it. You were just saying
No,
because of the comments. Yeah.
I remember now because he wasn't American.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were
and-
being
yeah.
racist.
I'm just saying because Harden was balling too, and I'm surprised that the voting was that skewed towards Giannis.
What was it?
It was like 75%. Like it was like Harden barely got any. Like it wasn't as close like a 50-50 race that I thought, because if we're talking about most valuable player, who was most valuable to their team, I think
I mean, you can say
Harden-
People
Harden-
say Harden because when Chris Paul
Oh,
went
it's
out,
a-
yeah.
when Chris Paul went out, he stepped his game up another level.
Exactly.
And they balled out.
Giannis beats Harden by 55 first place votes. I'm on Bleacher Report getting a wrap up of all the awards.
I mean, you know, and
look
you
at the Rockets. Y'all see this?
What?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
that
saw
tweet.
the tweet.
Yeah.
I saw that.
In the second, top 2 in MVP voting 4 out of the last
Social
5
media,
seasons.
man. Just think like if something like this happened 15 years ago, we would have never saw like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
stuff
You
like
just
that.
you just hear the drunk man at the bar talking shit.
Right. That's
Now
it.
you hear
That's
the whole
it.
50,000 fans.
Now a Rockets Twitter account is tweeting and stuff, man. That's crazy. All these teams got Twitter accounts.
I mean,
But was he snubbed? Did he deserve more votes?
More first place
No.
votes?
Yeah.
No.
No, I mean.
Is it? I'm just talking about regular season. I know we
Oh no,
look
I'm
at
not
the full.
I'm not even talking about players. I'm
Okay.
looking at regular season. I mean,
Yeah,
like
it's
I
regular
said,
season, yeah.
I mean, when Chris Paul went out and where the Rockets was at, a lot of people was like, "Oh
They
man,
counted him out early.
they probably not even gonna make the playoffs, depending on how long CP was gonna be out."
Yeah.
But James Harden stepped it up. Like he was balling. Unfortunately, we didn't see that James Harden in the playoffs. But when in the regular season, when Chris Paul was down, James Harden he kicked it up a notch and he put the team on his back.
Mhm.
Like he literally did. And they end up being a top 3 seed. He ended up keeping them up afloat to where they can, once CP3 came back, they was able to be one of the top seeded teams in the West. So hey, that alone is good. But then again, Giannis, he was the best player
With the
on
best
the best
record.
team.
Yeah.
And the best record. Yeah, sometimes I forget they had the best record in the league.
Yeah,
like
man.
I forget
I
that.
forget that.
Yeah,
Toronto was number 2.
Yeah.
In the record, and Golden State was
And Golden
3.
State
That's
was 3.
crazy.
Yeah. It's like, man, and it just puts in perspective like the type of playoff run that Kawhi had this year. Like you knock off at then where we was pretty much considering the MVP of the league and the best player was the best player in the league for this season.
You
And
knock
Kawhi-
out the best player and the best team in the
and
league.
the best team in the league. Like that's a hell of a playoff run, man. And that the game winner in Game 7 against Philly, like Kawhi had a good playoff run this year, man.
But MVPs never win the championship.
Never.
They
Never.
never win the
Jordan,
title.
I think
Did Shaq do? He
Shaq
You win-
did 2000. He
I
won
think that may
MVP.
have been the last one.
But
to win.
did he win a
No,
championship when he won the MVP?
I thought LeBron won the 2012. Didn't he win MVP?
Nah, if you win, I don't know. We have to fact check it, but typically, if you win the NBA
Right, typically.
MVP,
yeah,
you will not win the
get
championship.
Yeah. That's how it normally
Which is
goes.
crazy.
Yeah,
But like I said,
it
I
is.
want to say Bron did it. Shaq definitely did it in 2000, and yeah, Jordan done it. Jordan done it a couple times.
Yeah,
during his
yeah.
'90s run or whatever. But I want to say Bron. The year they beat OKC, I want to say Bron was
Yeah,
MVP
probably.
that year. I want to say
Yeah, that was 2012.
That was 2012.
Yeah,
this is
2011,
Miami.
2012
Yeah, that was-
season.
Yeah, I want to say
That
that
probably
was
was it.
Miami because he
Yeah.
won. He definitely won like what?
Because Rose won the year before.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I think he did win the year after.
Yep.
I'm glad that it played out the way it was. I'm glad Harden didn't get more votes. You're not out here. Yeah, he put him on his back, and
Mhm.
it is to be respected.
hmm
But you're the only guy taking shots. Like you taking 40 shots a night.
Right.
Giannis, everything you guys said is spot on, man. Like he deserved the award. So for all the NBA people that went out there and to start to push for Harden to get the award, I was like, what are y'all doing? Like
You know what?
John has been killing it all year long. You got to respect that.
As you are saying that, it's funny. I feel like the analytics people were pushing for Harden because that builds their case as far as what he represents. And the Houston Rockets are the number one in analytics, like Daryl Morey. So it's just, I think that was an angle that I didn't see, but I mean, he still did the numbers and he did this thing, and I was surprised. I was still surprised that he didn't get that many votes.
Yeah.
First place votes. But nonetheless, shout out to Giannis.
I mean, given how conversations went as the season started to end, maybe it is a little surprising because it did seem like a lot of people were lobbying for Harden to win. I think it would have been unfair to Giannis. I think he earned it. He deserved it. And outside of Westbrook, right, the award always goes to the player with the best record on the best team. So.
Steph Curry did it. I'm looking at the chat. Remember, he won with one of them years when he won unanimous. They won.
Oh, that was
Championship
2015.
Okay.
Was that 2015?
Two-time
Yeah.
unanimous
Yeah.
MVP, right?
Yeah.
2014.
Well, not
Nope.
two-time, but he won the MVP one year, and then the second MVP, it was unanimous. I think that was the year he won. He won a championship as well.
Okay.
Also, a quick. I'm looking in the chat. Red Leader, he said, and we're gonna have to fact check this one. He said, I believe this is the first time ever that we have a Rookie of the Year, a Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, and the Most Improved Player. We're all non-Americans. Yeah.
I think I saw a tweet that
Wow.
said global game. So
Yeah, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. I mean,
Yeah,
damn,
the
that's
foreigners are
crazy.
taking Americans' jobs.
Hey, man.
that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
the best player in the world is still an American player, though.
Hey, just
you
make
know?
sure y'all get y'all citizenship because
Yeah.
Trump will send y'all ass
It's
back.
right. No, right? He gonna send ICE out there to bust through your door. Shit.
They gonna put them in a big ass cage.
Right.
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 He be up there in Texas
Right.
somewhere with them
Right.
damn kids. So anyway, man, stop that shit, Trump. That shit's fucked up, by
That
the
is.
way. Anyway, so that's Giannis, man. So congrats to the brother. Defensive player of the year. So did Rudy Gobert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rudy got
Sounds about
his.
right,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, he deserved it, I guess.
I think they were overheard that LeBron has never won defensive player of the year. Oh, we were watching that video earlier.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That he's never won
I don't even
defensive
think.
player of
I'm
the
trying
year.
to think. Has he ever been on the defensive squad before?
Yeah.
Defensive team. He's been on the defensive
yeah,
team.
He's been on first.
And I
First
don't say that
defensive
because
team? I think so.
Jordan has a defense player of the year on under his belt.
When he got two,
I think so, man. I think he
Yeah,
has a
man.
couple.
he done
man.
everything, man.
You think?
Done it all.
Except for win 6 man a year.
Shout out to Shawty Love.
Right. Except for winning 6 man and most improved, he won pretty much every award you could think of. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. So okay. So Rudy, damn, how many is that for him?
Second
Two
one.
back to back.
Second?
Back to back.
Damn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. He was
Okay.
holding both of them bad boys too.
He trying to go for that Dwight Howard. Didn't Dwight Howard win it 4 times in a row?
No, Ben Wallace did.
Ben Wallace did.
Ben Wallace.
Okay.
And I didn't know that. I was like, damn, he won that bad boy. I don't know if it was 4 times in a row, but he's won it 4 times. Ben Wallace did.
Sager Strong Award goes to Robin Roberts. NBA Cares Community Assist Awards goes to Bradley Beal.
That's what's
Washington Wizards. Yeah, that's dope.
Yep.
Got to win somewhere.
I
Too
ain't know
bad they
they
gonna
had
trade him.
Yeah.
The Wizards don't care.
I didn't know they had a hustle award either. That was the first. Marcus Smart won that.
Oh, I don't even see that on
Yeah,
here.
it was the hustle award. He won.
They just made that shit up.
Yeah, I was like,
Boy, they just trying to make the show last long.
Right, I'm like,
you only
the
came for
Hustle
3
Award.
awards.
Yeah, I don't even see that on here.
Yeah, the hustle. Yeah, Marcus Smart won the hustle award.
Executive of the Year, John Horst, Milwaukee Bucks.
Of course, Milwaukee gonna win. Yeah, of course.
How?
Milwaukee, though.
Milwaukee won Coach of the Year, Executive Year, and they got the
course.
MVP.
Yeah.
I'm like, How the hell did he get over Masai? And I guess people were like,
Best
you didn't
record?
see all of it. Like, he won the championship at the end. So most
We
of
didn't
that.
see the results.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
regular season. But they still had the second best record. I mean, but it's behind the Milwaukee Bucks. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is based off regular season, I can see why. I mean, you had the best regular season team, and let's be honest, did we really see Milwaukee being like having the best record in the league before the season started?
I mean, they better thank LeBron leaving.
come on.
But still, my man to say even.
But no, we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't. Like we wouldn't.
'Cause they won 45 games or, so, or like 48 games the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they
it's like
just
we
jumped-
didn't going in this year. We didn't. We wasn't. We knew they was gonna be a playoff team.
Mhm.
We knew it was gonna be one of the top 4 teams, but we didn't think they was gonna be winning 60 plus.
But is that enough to
being-
qualify him as
the
executive
executive?
of the year? Or maybe they're
I don't know what
including the-
moves. See, I don't remember what moves he made in that off
I mean,
season.
he got Brooke Lopez.
In the
Oh,
off season.
He traded for no, not. I don't know if it was for the off
That's
season.
right. That's
They,
right.
I know it was a mid-season trade. They got Brooke Lopez. They got Mirotic.
Mirotic.
They
Oh
got,
yeah, they sure
um,
did. They
So he
sure
made
did.
some
yeah.
moves.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that
All
Brook
right.
Lopez move, it,
I mean, they got
Like it did?
He got Lopez a nickname, Splash Mountain.
yeah.
So-
Yep, he sure did. I know, cause out there, dude out there shooting threes now. I never thought I would have saw that.
Me either. All right, so you already mentioned most improved player, Pascal Siakam, which is dope. I was at a birthday party Saturday and ended up talking basketball to some of the people there. And it was a bunch of Africans.
Mhm.
And so one of the I think 2 of the people I was talking to were for Cameroon. 'Cause I was talking about Embiid
Okay.
and stuff like that. And they say Kawhi is top 3 right now.
After
And one of the guys is a
KD
big
and
Spurs
LeBron.
fan. So.
KD and LeBron, I was assuming they
Yeah,
was
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
them too.
KD,
Okay.
LeBron. They're saying Kawhi's top 3, and one of the guys, like I was mentioning, is a Spurs fan. So, and he wasn't salty about the move like some people we know. But yeah. I was like, I don't know about that one. So we debated that.
Who
but
else? Who else was? Do y'all remember who else was in the running for most improved player besides Siakam? Was D'Angelo?
Um,
Was D'Angelo
I
Russell
think
in there?
D'Angelo Russell was in there. I felt like was somebody from Indiana in there? Maybe, or maybe I'm thinking Oladipo won it before. He won it the year before, right?
Yeah, he won it. Yeah, because he won it the year after he left OKC.
Yeah, the year right.
the
Okay.
year, his first year back in Indiana.
Oh, John Wall about to start jogging in 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to see if I could find it, but
Okay, I just couldn't remember.
Yeah, I think
But
it might,
yeah,
I might
think
have been him
Siakam-
and D'Angelo.
Yeah, I think Siakam does. Yeah, he did because his game was definitely.
yes.
Yeah, like I remember last year, it was the year before that. I was like, man, like he had so much work he had to do, and this year, and especially in the playoffs, you like, I mean, the regular season, and then going into the playoffs, you like, yo, who is this guy? Like
Yeah.
you was questioning, you were like, man, who is this guy playing? That's not the same Siakam from
I was
last
saying
year.
he's shooting threes. And all this
Yeah,
motion.
man, it was like,
You know what's crazy is
wow.
that they didn't even have OG.
OG on the
They did not have
yeah.
OG throughout that whole run.
I
Like
know.
Danny Green was a backup
Damn,
shooting
they
guard.
didn't.
And think that's what I'm saying. If Kawhi resigns with all the reports are saying he's strongly
He
considering
coming
it.
back.
Hey, he come back. He don't even need to sign a long term. Just sign like a 2-year deal.
Gasol coming back too, right?
He's on the books.
They got an international team for
Yeah,
real.
everybody's
Okay,
on the books
so-
for one more year. After that, then that's when you start getting the
If-
dicey free agent
Yeah, if
stuff.
I'm quiet, I just do a 1-1.
That's what I'm saying.
Do it 1
If he
and
come
1.
back 1 year, why are they not the best team?
Do
in
a
the league?
1-1. Just do a 1-1. Try to repeat.
Everybody come back healthy.
Try to repeat. And if it don't work out, then you
Best
can then
team
you
in
go
the
to Clippers. Yeah, then you go
You
to
can't
Clippers.
argue against that. They will be better than
Milwaukee
the Bucks.
may have to say something about that.
They will still be better than the Bucks to me. Because now you got everybody has championship
They had
experience.
everybody last
Van
year.
Vliet had a coming out party. Kyle Lowry proved that he can finally get it done.
I mean,
Ibaka rebirthed. Like it was a lot. It was a lot of great.
I mean,
things.
it was only they were only 1 or 2 games behind Milwaukee, so I guess it's not that.
and that's
much of a
that's
lead.
what Kawhi doing hella load management.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he's coming back. Let's see, Lou Williams, sixth man of the year,
yeah,
of course.
Third consecutive.
We got to start giving praise to Lou Williams.
You put
what
on
you
here, is
mean?
he a legend?
I think he's a legend. I think he's
Legend from being the 6th man of the year.
he's the probably the most consistent NBA player one of the most consistent NBA players the last 10 years. I have not seen Lou Williams not be that dude. Whenever he comes off the bench or whatever role he's in, he's always dropping
Coming
buckets.
off the bench.
I think Jamal Crawford would get legend status over.
I mean,
Lou
I think
Williams.
he is one too. But I'm saying as far like, no one really talks about Lou Williams. You know what I'm saying? He gets all these awards.
Basketball heads do, which is maybe to your point.
That's what I'm-
like we recognize him, but we ain't gonna call him a legend
Why not?
for winning.
Legend, that's a high praise.
Yeah.
Like you putting him on Magic Johnson, Larry Bird.
No, I'm not
status.
saying he's up there. I'm just saying you could still be a legend and not be all the way up there.
I mean, when you say legend, it's
Yeah.
up there. Like
That's mm-mm.
You saying no?
Nah.
Well, he
nah.
gotta make a deep run in the playoffs
I mean,
or something.
if I would say if anyone, as far as a bench player or whatever, or someone off the bench, I would say Robert Horry was more of a legend than Lou Williams. Think all the big shots he didn't hit.
Yeah, I
Manu
mean-
would be one because he came up Manu Ginobili.
Yeah.
he's one too.
You know, I mean, he started a couple of seasons, but for the most part, he was coming off the bench.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say
Lou Williams. I mean,
I'm just saying,
he's
yeah,
a
we gotta
baller,
put him
man,
Now, if
but-
Lou Williams, if he started being in a piece of a championship team, you know, like I said, Horry is a part of. The dude got 7 rings, and he was a part of all. He was like he hit some big shots
Yeah, no, he was a big
for
key in
those 7
yeah.
championships.
Yeah,
He hit
Horry's a legend.
Huh?
Horry is a
That's what I'm
legend.
saying. Yeah, now if you think about somebody that's off the bench, that's a legend right there. Like you can say that.
But that was later on in his career because remember, he used to start
He
too for the Rockets.
But he was hitting shots for the Rockets.
I
too,
know
though.
that.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
he
you
was
know
hitting
I
shots.
know.
Yeah, he was hitting shots for the Rockets, the
But-
Spurs,
but
and the
later on,
Lakers.
yeah.
Like it was some of them shots. If he didn't hit some of those shots, the series would have went another way if it went for Robert Horry. He even daggered my Pistons in 2005 when we were supposed to beat them. We was up 3-2, and we could have beat them. And Robert Horry hit that dagger to extend it to Game 7.
This
And
fool
they
went
beat us.
from back-to-back championships with the Rockets to winning 5 more
Yes.
the rest of his career.
And being an important piece of those it wasn't like he was just on the bench
Right.
collecting rings. He was hitting big shots for them on Kobe and Shaq teams, Duncan and Tony Parker, and you know them squads. So now that's a legend. I would say
Yeah.
that's more of a legend before I throw Lou Williams.
Lou
in.
Williams will be forgotten about.
He ain't gonna be.
It
That's
depends.
what I'm
It's too
saying,
early.
man.
Yes,
we
he
still
will.
got to see. We got to
You
see
got-
what Lou
I-
Williams
I
do.
think-
Yes, he will.
And it's funny because he was on Toronto a few years ago. So if
Yep.
he would
I
have
know.
stayed,
But
He
there
played
are a
with Philly.
lot of
He was on
Yeah.
Philly when Andre Iguodala was like that
he's
guy.
been bouncing
and maybe
around.
this is an episode, but we should talk about like forgotten great players or good players in the NBA that people don't talk about anymore, because the NBA is just filled with guys
Oh,
that
yeah.
you know
yeah.
that
Were very
never
productive,
yeah,
yeah.
you know, you have to really do like a deep dive into like basketball conversation with people to really get to those, and I think that's where Lou Williams is going to be. I think he's going to be one of everybody be like, man, y'all remember Lou Williams?
Yeah, because remember what I
That's
told
him.
remember what I told y'all in the chat like about a week ago. I said Kemba Walker to me is this generation's Sidney Moncrief, and for those that don't remember, Sidney Moncrief was a guy that got buckets.
Yep.
You know, he went to the playoffs a couple times, but never. You know, of course, during that time you had Boston to deal with, you had Philadelphia to deal with. You know, you had those squads to deal with in the East. But Sidney Moncrief was buckets. Like same thing we say about Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker is a guard that gets buckets. And then, it's like at the end of the day, will he be remembered as like this, champion guy or a guy that just won and stuff? Sidney Moncrief is not remembered that. But when you mention Sidney Moncrief, you like, oh yeah, that guy got buckets. Like Sidney Moncrief was out there, he would bust your ass. So
Mhm.
I think that's what Kemba Walker. I think he's this generation's Sidney Moncrief.
Yeah.
And that's what just goes to the point that Ken is mentioning about, good players that never get mentioned or always kind of be forgotten or whatever. And Sidney Moncrief is definitely one of them.
All right, last one, man. Luka, just like hands down, rookie of the year. I think he won that super early,
I
and he
think-
wouldn't change anybody's
I
mind.
think if anything, this would have been the year I wouldn't have minded him having the co-rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Because when was the last time? Was that
Grant Hill,
Grant
and Jason Kidd.
That's what I was
That
gonna
was
say. I
last
thought it
time.
was, yeah.
That was last time.
Damn.
I think this could have been the season because if you compare their numbers for like half and half of the season, of course, Luka first half, man, crazy. But if you look at that second half, man, Trae Young was
And Trey.
he was the better rookie the second half of the season, man. Like,
It's racist.
but even though like you, Ken, I think it was early because I was definitely one of them that was like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was
yeah.
like, I was kind of like,
You
yeah,
were looking
Luka.
at the Hawks
yeah,
funny too.
Yeah, I was at
We
first.
all did.
Yeah,
we
I was,
all did. You
I was
was
like,
too.
man.
Not me.
Yeah, you was.
I was like, man, I don't
Check
know.
the
I was
tape.
like, I was like, the Hawks make a mistake. But by the second half, I was like, nah, they didn't make
Yeah,
they didn't
nah,
make a
cause
mistake.
it was getting real quiet for Trey as far as when he was
The first half, yeah.
even in
Until
summer when he
Christmas.
was in
Up-
summer league, he
up
was
until
like
Christmas,
he wasn't looking good.
Up in I remember like around Christmas time of the NBA season. Hold on one second. You found him?
I had a feeling. That's why I asked.
That's what Ken said. I'm jumping. Oh, okay. That's what's
cool.
up.
I'm glad.
That's what's
Look
up.
at God.
That's
You
what's
tip
up.
her. Should have gave
Man,
her
you
a
should
few
have
dollars
tipped her, man.
for coming back. That's gas,
Yeah, it's
man.
too late now. Yeah,
That's
I know.
about, she probably used about a gallon worth of gas to get over there. That's $3.
Shit, hell yeah.
I'm grateful.
Probably more if she was in premium. But yeah, Luke. Yeah, I was definitely. I remember around Christmas time of the NBA season, I was like, man, I don't know, man. Hawks looking real funny with Luka. Luka's that dude. I'm like, man, we should have got Luka. Like,
It's funny. I bet the house was like, damn, nigga, we probably
nah.
fucked up.
but no, this should have been the co-rookie of the year, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I think it should have been co-rookie of the year because they both was.
And now that's a conversation piece. Like looking at their careers moving forward, they're always probably going to be compared to each other. Like
Mhm.
who's gonna play out better?
And I hope whenever when they do play against each other during the seasons and stuff, I hope we get a good show. I hope we get a good show, and I hope it turns into like a like I'm that dude. I should have been that dude. Trae Young was already saying he felt like he should have been Rookie of the Year before this show was about to begin. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some. Okay, yeah, I got them this week. Yeah, I'm about to bust Luka's ass. So yeah, I hope it starts something. I hope it fuels something.
So Rudy Gobert is the first back-to-back winner since Kawhi. Damn.
Kawhi
Dang,
won
Kawhi
two
got
back to back. Yeah, man, Kawhi was
do got
locking fools
two.
up.
Hey,
Yeah, he's that.
Kawhi might be the one that's trying to go for MJ shit, man.
MJ shit like what?
As far as like taking it all, like defense, championships, all stars. Like
At this point, to me,
he's gonna get an MVP
I
soon.
think for Kawhi,
He's not gonna win an MVP.
He's not gonna win MVP
Nah, not in his career.
if they run it back again.
yeah, I don't.
You know what?
His numbers are not godly enough to get
Right.
MVP.
As long as he got the best record in the league and he averages 25, 5 and 5, that's
But
an MVP.
Still,
Nah, it might not be enough.
that
might
might not
not-
be an. I don't know.
What did
I don't
Giannis have? He had like 27. Did he have 10?
Yeah, he had like almost double digits in rebounds, blocks. PER was crazy. He had crazy.
Kawhi's gonna get
And
the blocks.
Giannis put up like some crazy games too. I don't
Yeah.
think Kawhi's gonna put up like.
Kawhi just get shit done.
Yeah.
Like it's not like godly looking. He just gets the job.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's
done.
gonna go
Yeah.
for like 40 or 50.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
he can get
I
you a
don't-
solid like 25. Of course, he can get 25 a game at least.
I don't
Get
know,
5 and
man.
5.
I don't know if and I'm not saying he's not that type of player. I'm pretty sure if he put his mind to it and be like, look, I'm gonna average this much, I think he can do it. But he's just not that type of player. Like even with him being the man on Toronto, like you look at his numbers, he wasn't like putting up like crazy numbers, man.
Yeah, he put up 27, 12, and 6.
Yeah,
That was Giannis.
yeah. See Kawhi, I don't know if he gonna win an MVP. But Kawhi wouldn't mind winning Finals MVP.
Yeah,
I
Right.
bet you he'd
yeah.
rather. I
Let's
bet you
stack those up.
right.
I'm about
He'd
to
stack
say-
those up, but I think he'd rather stack those up than the season MVP. I just don't think he'd get a regular season MVP. I just don't see it in his game and just the way he plays.
Yeah, me either.
I don't see it. Now I was getting ready to say before Ken made that point, the way I see Kawhi legacy like go up and up, 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 is if he start going to these dead franchises and win. Like if he
If you go to
imagine
Memphis,
go to the Clippers. The Clippers, they have no 60-win seasons. They never won a division title. They never, of course, no championship. They never played in a championship. They never
won a division title,
never won a Pacific title.
even with Chris Paul, Blake. Wow, that's saying something.
So like, if he was to do that, like, and go to the Clippers and like make them a championship team,
Mm-hmm.
like, and then like go somewhere else or go to the Knicks where they haven't won a championship in like 30 plus years and win a championship, like that would pattern his
Yeah.
legacy up.
I mean,
if he
yeah.
go to teams that's like known for not winning and just make them winners. You just gave Toronto you gave them their first NBA Finals trip and you gave them their first championship. So you go to the Clippers next year and say he signed there for 3 years. First year, they lose in the Western Conference Finals. Next year they win championship. Like and he started doing that to like you said Memphis. He go to Memphis, do something like that. Like that would patent his legacy.
Him and Ja Morant.
That would that would be nasty.
That would be nasty.
That would be nasty. But yeah, that's the only way I can start seeing like Kawhi's legacy starting to be up there with the greats if he start going to these one-off teams that's losing and then they win championships. Like what he did with Toronto.
Well, I mean, if the Raptors don't sign him, he is going to the Knicks. So,
no, he's gonna go to
because Scott Perry cool
He
with his
LA
uncle.
guy.
Scott Perry cool with his uncle.
He
You know, his
LA
uncle
guy.
got he the horse whisperer.
Well,
Whatever
he's
Kawhi
not
was.
tentatively scheduled to meet with them. Like he's tentatively scheduled to meet with the Lakers, but I think he's going back. Masai is back next year, so that's where I think they've had a conversation about running it back one more time. So, oh yeah, we already talked about him being snubbed. So, the fact that he won, yeah, it makes it seem like he was snubbed, but you know, it's the regular season award, so we wouldn't know.
People forget it's a regular season award. What y'all think about
He already
that?
won it too, like previous years ago.
Yeah. What y'all think about that? I know we texted in the text thread about Jimmy Butler, that sign and trade possible with the Rockets.
Oh, I didn't see that. I saw that they were trying to pursue him, but I didn't see how they were
I
trying
don't
to
see
do
how
that.
that helps.
It's in our text thread.
No, I did see that,
you
but I
didn't-
didn't get a chance to
I
read
don't
it.
see how that helps the
I'm
Rockets,
gonna
though.
Pull it up. Yeah, Rockets are eyeing a sign and trade for Butler.
So Chris Paul out of there.
The Rockets, Rockets
Nah,
are planning
Chris
to
Paul.
recruit. Yeah, Chris Paul's still gonna be there. Planning to recruit Jimmy Butler to push the Philadelphia to sign and trade. That would deal with allow All-Star forward to join James Harden and Chris Paul in Houston. And I was trying to see. Oh yeah, so Philly would get Clint Capella, guard Eric Gordon, and power forward PJ Tucker.
Like, how does
I
that
don't
help?
want that shit.
Because money wise, yeah.
I
So
want that shit.
and if
What am I gonna do with that?
That'd be
Six-
great for Philly, though.
No, it wouldn't.
I think it would. I mean, you
What
get
Capella gonna play?
where you
he
gonna
gonna
play?
be backup center.
He's not
Not
gonna
with that
be-
much money,
No, that
nah.
much money, no. He ain't
Hell
gonna.
no.
He
You
ain't
need
gonna
to
be
be
no
starting.
backup. You got him beat already. That don't make sense. That don't make sense.
Eric Gordon. What they gonna get rid of?
JJ Redick. No,
JJ
Clint
Redick.
Capella ain't getting paid no more after this contract.
He isn't. So
That's
he
what I'm
need to
saying.
know
He already getting paid, so hey, I might as well. I'm
He
in
ain't gonna come
Philly.
off the bench.
I can ease on my way down to the finals.
He ain't gonna come off the bench though. He ain't gonna come off the bench.
He ain't got
you
no.
him beat.
Why are we talking about Clint Capella like he
I'm just saying,
Hakeem
but he-
Olajuwon?
He ain't gonna come off the bench making that much money. That ain't gonna happen. If I'm Jimmy Butler into about, just stay there, run it back, run
Yes,
that, run it back.
Jimmy is.
You
I
can
keep
win.
telling you,
You
Jimmy
can
don't
win.
want to win if he leave Philly. He
Yeah.
don't want. He don't care about
I
winning
mean,
if
it
he leave Philly.
Okay,
That's my
this is
that's
gonna
my
be-
opinion.
It's gonna be Melo all over again. Because remember when Melo, he had a chance to go to Chicago. Remember,
Chicago wasn't doing shit.
no, this was.
I remember that year.
This was the Derrick
I
Rose
remember-
MVP year. He was still healthy. I mean, this was before
No,
the league.
it wasn't that. It wasn't that recent as far as like
Yes, it was.
Rose coming off his MVP year and him. Nah,
I'm saying, it was before Rose started getting hurt. Because you had Jimmy Butler over there. You still had Boozer and Joakim Noah still playing good. Pretty much Melo, he would have been in the perfect situation.
I
in
think it
Chicago.
was like
All he would have to do was get buckets. He only had to play defense because everybody around you played defense. That would have been a perfect situation for Carmelo.
But his incentive.
He stayed in New York and they was ass
because
after
of the
that.
money.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
could have paid him the most.
That's
but
what I'm
Jimmy,
saying.
Philly can pay him the most,
Yeah, Philly can.
and
I'm
it's the
saying.
best team.
And it's the
So,
best team.
Yeah, so it's like, why would you leave?
Why would
that?
you leave that? Right. You pretty much, and we talked about
He's
this.
from Houston.
That don't
He
mean
is. Jimmy
Yeah,
Butler from
Kevin Durant from DC. He ain't going to the Wizards.
it's the Wizards, bro.
Exactly, it's the Rockets. They ain't doing
Yeah,
shit.
but
But
the Rock. Come on now, the Rocks is.
Right.
What they do, Ken? What have they done?
You just compare the Rockets to the Wizards.
I'm not talking about I'm just talking about the Rockets. What
But I'm
you,
just saying, there's
you saying it's the Rockets like this? They just got off a chip.
Yeah, because they were second best in the league last year. They were third best in the league this year.
And
whatever it
what
was.
does that got them?
They're contending for a title in the West.
They never were serious contenders. We never for
Okay,
a
let's
second.
not modify what has been the last.
I'm
two years
just saying
of the Rockets
every
history
season
to
we've
fit
gone
your argument.
every season we've gone into for the last 3-4 years, we've always said Golden State, Golden State, Golden State. We always look at the Rockets like, oh yeah, they could, but we gonna say Golden State. You putting your money down on
But
Golden State.
they were contending for a title. We all knew that as long as the Warriors had KD, it was going to be tough to beat them. But we also know that they went 7 games last year, and we know that, well, this year they took them 6. So
The year before that, they caught the injury, but I feel like that was their best team in my opinion.
yeah,
The Trevor the Ariza year.
I think that was the best squad. I think that I'm sorry to say this, when they got your boy Melo the last year and he only lasted a month.
That
messed him
was
up.
more
That
the
went down
Rockets
here.
than Melo.
That's what I'm saying. That messed him up. They shouldn't have brought him on board, man.
But
Nah, they should have
compared
kept.
to the Wizards,
They
the
needed
Wizards
Melo.
ain't even ever
they didn't.
contending. So,
But
you
I'm
know.
just saying, like being a home, like you
that's-
being from there don't mean shit.
but it means something if you're going to a team that's contending for a title, especially if you're going to a team that's contending for a title with the West open now. So the math has changed. That whole
The
situation
East is
wide
open still too, technically.
You
Depends
just
on
said
what
that.
Kawhi
You
does.
I said this. I said it depends on if Kawhi
But-
running back.
Yeah, so
but I'm
let's-
saying we don't know if Kawhi's gonna run back. He can go to
the
Clippers or he go to the Knicks. He can go anywhere.
But the East with Giannis and Kawhi, let's say he come back, which more than likely, well, not more than likely. Let's just say he come back, then the East will be harder than the West with the broken Golden State Warriors. So you add Jimmy,
But
that's a whole new
another year with
situation.
a full season with Jimmy,
Right. You
Ben
got a full
Simmons,
off season. You got a
Embiid,
full off season.
Tobias
No, no, no,
Harris.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
saying that that when you look at him going to the Rockets and plus him being from Houston,
But they have to gut the team to get him there.
and they are contending for a title in a broken down West, it makes sense.
But they have to gut the team.
Because you sending Gordon.
You
sending
spending your
Clint
best guy.
Capella.
I mean, some people are well, we got that,
Yeah, you got Clint Capella and
but people are delusional, man. Like these athletes are delusional, so he probably think that's all they need.
I'm telling you, if he leave Philly, he does not care about winning.
yeah, this
Because there's no
I mean, to be honest with you, they played Toronto the best than anybody in
the
that
terms-
whole playoff.
It was a
run.
miracle shot for them to get out of
Yeah.
that series.
Yep. So, man, I think they should stay. They should run it back. That's just me.
Yeah, I think
they
you should
run
run
it
it back too. I
They should run
would.
it
I don't
back.
know why.
They
I
should
don't
run
know
it back.
why you want to leave Philly
They
and
should run
go
it back.
to the
They
Rockets.
love you, and they love you in Philly. Like you, the fan base, they support you. So
And
This
they gonna pay you.
they
but I
gonna
think
pay you.
he and
Yeah.
Harden are cool, or is Harden recruiting him or something?
I have no idea about the.
I don't know these-
This whole storyline doesn't make sense.
I feel
to
like
me.
Yeah.
the media does not know anything, and they just throw shit out. and
No,
see what
they
sticks.
know stuff. I think what's happening is these people that they are people that's leaking certain information to them to get these storylines in there, and I think
to
I
muck
heard,
up the whole shit.
or just to see how like some execs they just put stuff out there just to see how it sounds, and see what the thoughts would be and how it would play out in the media, what the criticism would be, if any. So I think that happened, but like these people are connected. Like they get inside information from somebody. Now you have to rely on the source that they're getting it from, because sometimes they could just be throwing shit out there. Like Rick Booker,
Bucher.
Booker. I don't know where he be getting this shit from,
He
but I don't
said-
believe anything he say.
He work in the Bay. He said he be talking to him.
I don't believe anything he say, bro. He ain't been right about shit. Now, I don't know if he trying to make his name now, but I'm like,
He is on FS1 a lot. Oh, I think he's a
yeah, he
FS1
just popped
analyst.
up out of nowhere just saying crazy shit.
I fuck with Rick Bucher.
Nah, man. I do like him with B.J. Armstrong, but him trying to break news, I don't know about that one. That seems a little far-fetched to me. But, yeah, I don't know why he's trying to go to Houston or why he's even considering it. I heard, Stephen A. did say that he and Tobias, don't really like playing together. I think because maybe it's a shot distribution. I don't know. Or maybe they don't fit well, even though Philly want to bring him back. But I'm with y'all. I would run him back.
Just run it back.
I would run that shit
Running
back,
back, make
man.
it work. If it don't work the next year, then you find a way. Trade some
Yeah,
pieces.
but he'll probably sign. I mean, what a 4-year contract?
Yeah, I'm just saying, obviously, I'm getting rid
I mean,
of Tobias. I'm not getting rid of Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't work.
I like Tobias fit,
But
but
he-
Jimmy got that dog in him.
Yeah, I'd rather go with
So-
Jimmy over Tobias. And if Ben
And
Simmons can get a somewhat of a decent, I honestly think that whole season was based on if Ben Simmons can get a
Mhm.
mid range or just somewhat of a float or something that's respectable.
That's why I think Tobias would be a better fit. That's why I think Tobias would be a better fit, and then it'd be Embiid, Simmons, Tobias. That's your big three.
Mm.
But we'll see.
What y'all think about possible D'Angelo Russell willing to talk to the Lakers?
I love it.
You know what's crazier? That Magic Johnson was like, "Oh yeah, he I want him to come back."
Right.
Like nigga, you
Like
sent
you don't
him
want to
out.
send them out. But,
He talking about
you know,
he
wow.
he's grown up. Yeah, he got better when he left. motherfucker.
Yep.
Man,
So,
this
He has grown up though. We got to give the brother.
he
his
was
props.
19 when that happened. Of course he grew up. Like, what else do you? These are 19-year-old teen. They're still teenagers.
But it doesn't change the
and you
fact that
throwing
he
all
did
this
grow
money
up.
at him, and he in the biggest city in the
Some of
world.
these knuckleheads don't grow up, Nick.
You right, but I'm just saying. but I'm saying that was your draft pick that you gave
I
up
know
on
they
year
wanted
two.
to. They
Lonzo.
went with
Yeah.
the hard
Lonzo.
artist
Yeah.
kid.
And then you got Lonzo, and then they end up trading him now. Like, you have nothing to show for your draft class for the last 3-4 years, outside of Kuzma.
That is crazy.
So now you have D'Angelo Russell, you got Kuzma, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. I don't know who your two.
My
guys
thing is,
are.
does D'Angelo even want to come back?
He said it.
He
Yeah,
said he's one. He's
that's
one.
what he's
He's one
saying.
to talk. He's one to like see what they talking about.
This
He
is
only-
a
I think he
rumor.
only
These-
saying that because Brooklyn don't want him no more. He getting treated like a side chick.
Because they looking at Kyrie is possibly
Hey,
coming. So we'll
I
see.
I mean, it is L.A. At the end of the day, it is the Lakers.
That's the thing. Anybody could be sold on LA.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
freaking Lakers.
You wouldn't pay me
bro.
$1 million to stay in LA.
So you get to go back to the team that drafted you. You're a way better player. You're playing with LeBron and AD and Kuzma now.
Which, if you look at, they showed an old video that they posted
Oh yeah, I saw
about
that.
his dream lineup, and he
Mhm.
mentioned LeBron and Anthony Davis in that lineup. Like
Oh.
this is before he, I think, even got drafted.
Was
I
this
think-
summer league? I thought
No,
it was.
this was like, I think he was he was like in high
I
school.
thought that was new. That was old.
Nah,
No,
that's
that was
old.
old.
it's
Yeah, it
old.
was like he was either about to leave college or he was leaving high school, getting ready to get into college or whatever. It was old, and he was saying his dream lineup:
and
LeBron
him
James, Anthony Davis,
and
and
LeBron.
somebody else, and it was some other people in there. But
Wow,
that's crazy. That's crazy how that shit might work.
So yeah, now I know why you want to go back. It crystallizes a little.
Like-
Well,
bit.
and him and LeBron got the Ohio State connection. Like,
yeah, they do.
Yep. So
That would be nice.
yeah.
Man, I would love it. Like, but they already have the big three. Even if they can't make it happen, if they can make it happen, I would try to make it happen. But people act like they don't have a big three yet.
I think they should use that.
so you fucking with Kuz now.
I always did fuck with Kuzma.
You
Yeah, I
was
like
y'all
Kuz.
was talking about when I said he's a poor man's Klay Thompson. Y'all over here talking about some get the fuck out of here. He's more like a poor man's. Y'all said some scrub ass nigga.
First of all, a lot of that was FIFO. Second of all, when we went to LA and saw them play, like I came back and reported on this show.
yeah, you was like,
that-
yeah, Kuzma.
Yeah, Kuzma was that dude. The
All
Lake
right.
and that the Lakers, the fans love Kuzma more than Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, and they both was rookies. Yeah.
Yep, I saw that. I was in,
I think if you can get D'Angelo Russell, you go get him. Even though I've been a proponent of saying like fill out the rest of the roster with
That's
the
what
team.
I was gonna
But
say.
if it's
I feel
D'Angelo
like,
Russell, you gonna need a good guard in the West, a
I'm-
good point guard.
where's your shooters?
yeah.
You gonna have to do the Miami Heat thing. Just send out, go to the local YMCA, put a
I heard he calling Boobie Gibson and
Poster, yeah.
Damon Jones.
Call up Love and Hip Hop ass if Boobie Gibson is available.
So I'm
I say
torn.
fill out. I say fill out the. If you can try to get like JJ Redick and Danny Green,
But they gonna cost money too.
no, they
Danny
they'd
Green
be,
coming off a chip.
they'd be within that 28 million cap space though.
And JJ Redick, he loves it in Philly. Like his whole family is set up.
Yeah.
Like he commutes to New York and back from Philly and that's why he wanted to be there, so he can make that commute. I don't know if he's wanting to uproot his family again.
So here's why I'm
Just to
saying.
California, shit.
Yeah, here's why I'm saying they have their big three. People act like Kuzma can't play. They just forgot about Kuzma. It's just
Kuzma
been LeBron
averaged
and
like
AD.
16 points rookie year. Didn't he average 18?
That's right in Chris
Yeah.
Bosh range, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're looking for a big three, you already got it. You could just say Kuzma, you're the third guy. And then you fill out the roster with the rest of those pieces. So as much as I would like D'Angelo there, and I think he would be a great fit, I don't think you need him.
You don't need him, but if you're really trying to have championship aspirations for this upcoming
You
season,
can do it with the two of them.
And
And the
what-
reason why I say that is because MJ and Pippen. And who else was on
this
that
ain't
team?
that same league,
Ron-
man.
Don't matter. It was a bunch of just dudes.
Ron Harper and Dennis Rodman and Luke Longley.
Specialists. Get your
You
specialists.
tell
Tony
you think
Kukoc.
there's gonna be? You think Steve Kerr is gonna be able to save the day for in this era? That type of player for the Lakers? No, you need somebody who's
Mike
athletic.
Miller did.
Mike Miller ain't do a damn thing.
Yes, he did. Remember the game without the shoe?
It's
He was knocking
LeBron,
them
D
threes
Wade,
down.
and Chris Bosh. They was gonna win regardless,
Steve
But-
Kerr had one moment, and that was that three-pointer.
and he had to get punched.
But still, you said
Ain't nobody got that much dog to punch
but
somebody in the locker room.
Steve Kerr had one moment, and that was that shot. Mike Miller had one moment, and that was that game. Yes, to answer your question, it can happen because it has happened with LeBron before. Shane Battier did it.
They ain't got the money for all that.
But I'm just saying, like, you get these specialists. Pascal Siakam just did it. Van Fleet came off the bench and did it. It can happen.
Yeah,
Those is once in a lifetime type of.
That's all you need,
moments.
though. That's the point.
My thing is, if you really want to put a stamp and be like, we the true contender, get D'Angelo Russell. If you can't get D'Angelo Russell and you want to fill out the rest of the roster, go ahead.
They do need another ball dominant person.
It's
though,
the
to kinda
West.
Take the load off LeBron.
What great team in the West does not have a good point guard?
I mean, they can find somebody to fulfill that role. That's filling out the roster.
Ooh, you talking about Pat Bev? Pat Bev ain't.
No. I'm not talking Pat Bev.
No.
That's FIFO. But
there's not that many good guards.
I don't know who's on the free agent list, but they can find somebody that can be ball dominant, like B said. It don't have to be.
Well, then they
D'Lo.
have to re-sign Rondo. They have to.
Yeah, because then he didn't get signed for that much when they had.
Nah, he was on a 1 year
Nah,
deal.
man.
Everybody was on a
Yeah.
1 year deal. He was signing. I would give him a 2 year, what,
Yeah,
20,
Rondo would be
$25 million
nice. If
dollars.
Rondo can stay healthy, man. He got that IQ. LeBron respects him.
And he played with AD too.
Mhm.
Yep.
And like B said, it'll take the load off of LeBron. having to
being
bring
the
him-
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't
You
know.
gotta get you a ball dominant guy, and you gotta get some shooters because you're gonna have to spread that floor out for LeBron and AD.
Yeah.
You gotta spread it out for him. You can't clog that.
I think
can't be able to clog that lane up, man. You gotta be able to worry about some shooters on this side or this side when LeBron and AD get the ball down low.
and just give more praise to Kuzma. I think this is his breakout year. This upcoming year.
How?
I think he'll be getting 20. He'll probably average 20 a game.
Probably I can see that. I mean he's getting better every
You
year.
said breakout. I thought he was just gonna be just out here balling. Like
No, I mean like he's gonna be balling, but obviously he got
that's only
it's
4
a
more
pecking.
points a game, Nick.
That's a big jump. 20 is a different tax bracket as far as him getting paid again.
16 to 24 more points, more minutes. He can get that.
In his third year, he goes from his first year averaging 16 to go to 20. That's a big jump. You're putting on 2 more points every year.
I think he can do it. He's capable.
He
As
can
the
do it,
third
but I
best
don't
player?
think I don't think it's gonna be that big of a jump.
And it also depends on the workload that LeBron and AD might have. It might be them games where they might not play, where Kuzma might step up and score 35.
I see LeBron probably.
Yeah.
I think Kuzma. Nah, I ain't gonna say. I'm gonna wait till the season.
You see LeBron what?
I'm gonna wait till the season start before
Why?
I start hollering. Actually, now I'm all right. I'm gonna say it. I think LeBron will be willing to be like, all right, I'm gonna step back a little bit and be more of a playmaker, facilitator. He'll probably average like 18.
Who, LeBron?
Yeah,
Nah,
and
I
then
don't
let
see him.
Kuzma and
I don't see
AD
him
really
averaging
take
under
and
20.
really.
I don't see him averaging under 20.
That's what I
Nah,
think.
that's
I think LeBron
'Cause I feel
realizes
like-
his.
I feel like LeBron took a step back this year and he still averaged 27.
I don't think he did. I think he had to put his foot on the gas because he had no help. I think
he-
LeBron is really like he realized his mortality with this injury, and he was like, you know what, I need to really slow down and get people around me that can help me continue on being great. Because I can't, at this point in my career, I can't keep doing the 28, 27 a
I think
game.
you the only one that believes that.
Yeah, I think he still do. But I do trust him. I do
Think
think
about how hard it is for. He's been playing for 17 seasons, going or
This'll be a
16,
17.
going
This'll
on
be a
17.
Mhm.
He's been averaging that's tiresome. Especially he's been on shitty teams before too.
including playoff runs too.
Yeah,
He's
vacation.
tired. This is the first time he had a full season
Yeah,
off.
vacation.
He didn't have a full season off.
Basically, he was gone half the season. Now he got all off season.
He's gonna take some time off again this season. I mean, it probably won't be for injury, but he's gonna definitely take some.
And the times he's
What's that load management?
the lows
He's definitely-
management.
yeah.
That's when Kuzma gonna ball out.
That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
think that's when he's gonna have those good numbers whenever LeBron or AD take those load management games.
Yeah, I'm with you, B and Nick. I think he could do it. I definitely think he could do it. That's why I think they have their big 3. I don't think they need to go find that other star.
But they need.
So you agree with me? They need to fill out that roster.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that whoever they have at point guard will be the reason why they either win or they don't win.
Rondo.
Like if they have Rondo or they get Russell or if they somehow get Kemba, that's solid. But anybody else, I'm like,
all they
I
need
don't-
is Mario Chalmers, and they'll be fine.
man, not in the West. You got to have somebody that at least is respectable.
They get Rondo. They re-sign Rondo.
When was the last time a championship team had a point guard who wasn't an all-star?
A championship team had a point guard that wasn't. Let me see. I guess
That's
you say
Jordan.
Miami.
Oh, that's-
Miami Chalmers. Not an
Oh,
all-star.
Charm. Okay, yeah.
Chalmers. The Miami years. Chalmers not no damn.
So my
all-star.
point stands.
That was one. That was one team in the last 20 years.
Man, so I think we've been saying this on this show for a few years now that Mark Jackson was blackballed. I know I've been saying it. Iggy finally came out and said it publicly and acknowledged it. Shout out to Iggy for putting it out there, man. Like it's one thing for me to say it with just a few folks listening. Nobody care about what I'm saying, or even Stephen A. Smith. Nobody give a damn what he's saying, or Mark Jackson. But for a basketball player,
someone that played for him,
Finals MVP,
right,
a champion,
right,
to come out and say, yeah, exactly, yeah,
that played for him,
for him, yeah.
It was even more about the detailed things he said. Like he was like all those rumors that of what Mark Jackson was doing and stuff like that. He was like, man, most of that was false. He said all he did was like as far as the church stuff. He said if you want to go to church, you can come with me.
He played like his Bible study, the service on Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday nights when nobody was there.
Yeah.
He said if we want to, he said most of us are believe in God anyway. So of course we was gonna be in church on Sunday anyway. So we'll go
as a team.
Yeah, go as a team. Yeah. And then he was like, man, that's probably the best coach I ever played with. He said he said it wasn't Mark Jackson. Most of them niggas that was on those teams at the time wouldn't got paid.
Right, Mark Jackson is the Tony Dungy.
And he
of
said,
the Golden State
the
Warriors.
biggest thing was he did not get along with ownership. And obviously, if you, as a coach, if you don't got a good relationship with the owners, you are gone.
You out the door.
Which is fine, but to keep you from getting another job, what are they doing to sully his name?
Well,
like
it was
that?
what happened between them. He did mention that because of his religious background, and we going into the black religion, he was talking about as far as like in the Bible,
not black religion, just religion.
We're just religion, but from the black perspective. Like the Bible about men and women, I think as far as marriage, and then I think one of the top executives in the NBA, who I think Iggy was saying, who set up the whole All-Star Weekend concept, he was saying like he's gay, and that you were in San Francisco, that's a big gay population there, so it's just like you can't have that. I guess they were like, if you don't accept me for who I am, then why am I going to work with you?
Yeah, I think that was one of those moments where you just leave that one behind closed doors, especially in the world now where that stuff is, I shouldn't say that stuff, but where is open and is common and everybody's focused on equality, these religious views that people have about those lifestyles that they don't agree with because of their religious beliefs. I mean, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But, you just really can't really like say it anymore.
Yeah, you gotta keep it to yourself.
Yeah, you got to keep it to yourself. Like there are racist people that don't go around saying that they hate Negroes. You know, so it's just one of those things, man. And but yeah. So and that's why I said it's not like a black thing. Like it's. And
it got to be deeper than that.
It's no, just when you was like the black homophobia thing, kind of where you felt like you were. Leaning to, he threw the ball away because homophobia is a global thing. I've listened to so many podcasts about just it's like everywhere, man.
No, I agree. I'm just saying but because he is a black man who's religious, it goes with
it goes into the stereotype that people have about black people, and we need to stop. Yeah. We got to start pushing back against that myth that that's out there. It feels, and this feels like it is the mic still on conversation, but I'm gonna be brief and wrap it up. We can't keep owning all the ill wills of the world and turning that stuff into black issues, and I'm starting to have a problem with that. Black on black crime, we started to debunk that and fight back against that. Homophobia in the black community, that's everywhere. So that's one we got to push back against. Absentee dads, we got to push back against that stuff. Welfare, they made us the face of welfare, and the stats behind that. So yeah, we just gotta start pushing back on that. Homophobia is in every single community, every single country, every single race. It's global, and it's not just more prevalent in the black community. So y'all can kill all that. Y'all got that. So anyway, that's my soapbox. So yeah, so it was good. So we'll see what happens from here because what does Adam Silver do? What happens when somebody takes that and send it to him?
You know what? Honestly, I think because Iggy said that he could text in the interview. He was like, I could text Adam Silver right now and he'll respond. So it seems like the players have a really good connection with Adam Silver. And I think most players, because Iggy was saying before he even went on an interview, he was like, me was just talking about this whole Mark Jackson thing before we got on here. And it's like, I think most players have probably expressed their concerns or like, they're like, what's going on? And Adam Silver, what is he like? People act like Adam Silver ain't like Roger Goodell. Like, he represents the owners at the end of the day.
Mhm.
He ain't representing the players. So if the owners don't want you, they don't want you.
Yeah, he can't make them hire
Yeah.
somebody, but he can do an inquiry. He be like, why isn't Mark Jackson? I mean, I think that's fair. I mean, you look at, and we can jump into that now. You look at what's going on with the Houston Texans, right? So McNair was fired. McNair fired the GM Brian Gaines with hopes of getting Nick Caserio, but that fell through, and they might be dealing with a violation of the Rooney Rule. So I didn't get a chance to read up on this, but translation is that there's an exec they want from the Patriots who's white. They already know they want him and to hire him, but in order to do that, they have to interview a black coach
Or a minority coach.
or a minority coach. And a minority coach that interviews for their job knows now that they're not going to get that job. So now the thing is, like, first of all, the Rooney Rule is a piece of crap. But because Goodell knows this stuff exists, like, you got to at least write a memo or some shit and be like, yo, like, if we are doing this for reasons that are beyond basketball, then you guys need to reconsider how you do business. At the same time, we also have to point out they're the owners of the team. They can do what they want to do. And if they're still hiring black people and just don't want to hire that Negro, what do you say?
Well, I just think that the fact that you were willingly, like, obviously going to violate that rule. Like, that wasn't even a thought. Like, you weren't even thinking about interviewing any other coaches, let alone minority coaches.
Yeah.
And the fact that the guy that they was trying to get from the Pats, he was still his contract isn't even up till 2020. And so you really shouldn't even been talking to him anyway. So it's just like, it just, like you said, it defeats the purpose of the Rooney Rule, and it really exposes, like, all these coaching hirings, not even just in the NFL but the NBA. Like, it's really just what is it, the
Good old boys?
Yeah, good old
Yeah.
boys league and all that stuff. Just, if I know you and I can vouch for you, then you win.
Yeah, and, for those of you that have watched the show for years and those of you that are new, this is why I always take a real hard stand with minority black coaches. And I sometimes to a fault, go extremely hard for these guys because of stuff like this. Because the system is unfair, it is very unjust. And when they try to put in a rule to present or get more opportunities for minorities, they bypass it. And at the end of the day,
Like,
there's
look at
nothing they can
the OC for the Kansas City Chiefs, like, former Bengals player,
do. Mhm.
and now he was there with Patrick Mahomes, who had an MVP season, and he couldn't get a coaching job. But the guy from Arizona Cardinals, who had a losing record at Texas Tech with Patrick Mahomes, got a coaching job. It just doesn't make sense.
Nah. Yeah. All right. So, like I said, this is going to be a short show, so I'm just kind of looking around. So the Yankees apparently set a record, 28 straight game with the home run. 28 consecutive games. That's an MLB record.
Damn, that's crazy.
I know Rob Parker has a pot. Damn, Stanton hurt again.
Damn, he is. Wow.
Yeah,
Damn,
Judge hit
Yankees.
one. They paid
Judge
that-
back though.
Yeah, Giancarlo Stanton leads game right knee contusion.
Mm-hmm.
They paid him all that money.
All
He
that
can't-
money, and he can't even stay healthy now. Because that was the whole thing. Jim and Judge is gonna be like the leading force for the Yankees. Young, big hitters. That's
out the window.
That's messed up. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh well.
What was you about to say though?
Nah, just basically the same thing. Like they can't stay on the field.
I want to ask y'all how y'all feel about the Braves this year.
I like their young talent, man. That Austin Riley kid, Acuna came up last year. He's dope. They sent down Fontanevich, who was one of their pitchers who's struggling. So I think you're about to see a youth movement with them. So they can bring up Bryce Wilson. They brought up Kyle Wright. Michael Sakura is a good young pitcher that they have. Tuki Toussaint is another good young pitcher that they have. So they got some arms again, and we'll see how long Acuna Jr. stay here because black players on the Braves don't stay long.
That's crazy.
So
That's crazy.
You know, so we'll see how that go. But yeah, this Austin Riley kid, like, he seems like he's legit, man. He got a lot of power. So yeah, I got to get to some games, man. Now that they got something worth watching.
Everybody's going to the games now, and I'm like, man, I gotta go. They winning.
Yeah,
and
my
everything.
Tigers. I saw my Tigers when they came in town. I was surprised they played. They really play each other because they both different divisions.
Mm-hmm.
The Tigers American League and Braves the National League. But yeah, they had the interleague games, and Tigers came in town to play. I was like, perfect. Hell yeah, I get to see my Tigers on Friday night.
Yeah, I got
fireworks. If you go to the game, go on Friday because they have fireworks after the game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Whenever the Braves have a home game on a Friday, they always have fireworks after the game.
Since I got all these Fridays off, maybe I'll go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to see Ronald Acuna Jr. play, man.
Mm-hmm.
I like him a lot. He's a brother. I'm starting to see more and more brothers or minorities coming to the
Yeah, because they looking at them contracts and they're like, man, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get $300 million.
This is interesting because we've had this conversation on the show before, not to extend the show any longer, but one of the things we looked at was the cost of the equipment to play, and why black people stop putting their kids in baseball. But I think as we continue to grow and evolve as a community, I'm doing better than my parents. My parents did better than their parents, so on and so on. I can see kids starting to invest or having the funds to invest in baseball more than they did, a couple of years ago. So it's just something I'm going to watch. Some stuff like this is slow moving. So, it's kind of hard to see, and it seems like it happens overnight, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I had my kid, playing T-ball and stuff like that. If he would have been interested, I got money and I would invest in him playing baseball, So I got him playing soccer, so.
Yeah, that's another sport that's coming up, too.
Yeah, man, Miles be trying to fight people, so I can't have him out there. Ain't that type of damn game. But yeah, man. So just something to watch. Just something to watch. But man, I think that's it, man. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna touch on the big free agent signings. Now the conversation is shifting. Now all of a sudden, Kyrie's been on the phone with KD twice.
That was what Rick Bucher said. He was saying they've only spoken twice about free agency.
Yeah.
Which I doubt that's true, but it's just funny that he said it.
And he's trying to get him. So, we got to kind of piece this puzzle together. So last year it seemed, less likely. Now they've been on the phone. Now KD's mad at the Warriors. No, pissed off with the Warriors staff. Oh, and I meant to mention that because you and Kyle were talking about that. I know Iggy praised the staff. I didn't hear the interview.
You got to watch the interview. It's a really good interview.
But
it's long, but it's good.
You're going to sit here and say, oh, man, they have a really good medical staff. But, man, Negro, they just told you your bone boost your fracture was a bone boost. How good are they?
And that's what I was getting upset. That's why I was telling Kyle or just y'all in the chat. I was like, I don't understand why the Warriors are – the whole predicament of the Warriors now that what FIFA was talking about the last episode he was on was, the Warriors could, they could offer KD the 5-year max, and they'll just trade him after that year, just rehab just to, say I'm sorry, Right. I'm like, why the hell would he do that when if they really wanted to take care of him, they would have done it by saying, oh, KD's out. As soon as KD hurt his calf, KD's out. KD's out indefinitely. And then once you say indefinitely, nobody's expecting him to come back. If he comes back, then he comes back. But if you say indefinitely, you end all the rumors. None of the teammates asking questions.
Yeah,
nobody says nothing. But when you say, oh, he'll come back game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5. And it's just like, and he comes back, then he tears Achilles. I'm like, why the hell are you doing all this? Like, it doesn't make sense for me for why Iggy would. It makes sense for why Iggy would praise them. But at the same time, it's like, bro, they could have said your leg was fractured instead of saying a bone bruise. Now you got fans talking about my kid came to come see you. Why you ain't playing?
Right.
Yeah, that's why it was weird. But it's one of those things where you have to put that qualifying statement in front of it. Oh man, I love Madison Bumgarner, but he ain't pitching he been pitching like shit. It's like, okay, man, I love Biggie, but how he be the GOAT when he only had one album? Just little stuff like that. People love to put in front of stuff to kind of sweeten it up a little bit. But yeah, you can't say that and then turn around and tell us that they told you your fracture was a bone bruise, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
That shit ain't making sense to me. Y'all know how I like to think. I like to approach things with logic and common sense. That ain't adding
And then
up.
that's forcing you to come back on the court because now everybody pressing you to play,
Right.
and then you gonna
Said
fuck
the
up your own injury.
Team asks you, all right, you gonna play? You gonna play?
But then on top of that, now you say something like that. Now I'm really looking at the Warriors staff side eye
Yeah.
because
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now they got history of doing this now.
yeah. So I don't know if Iggy was like, did he let that slip or did he intentionally put
Well,
that
I think
out
he about to
there?
retire anyway, so I don't think he give a damn.
I don't know.
Because he was talking about it in the interview, like, because asking like, what do you
He
think
said he
about
was
doing
coming
next?
back.
No, he said but he was saying it like, I could come back. He really don't need it. He's got money.
Nah,
in
maybe
tech.
he got caught up in the moment in the finals.
He got a lot of money
but-
in tech, so he don't need it.
Yeah, shout out to them brothers, man. But either way it go, yeah. I mean, period, point blank, they just misdiagnosed him. They got it wrong. The evidence isn't him going back out there. I shouldn't have to listen to media pundits saying what they should
Right.
or paid to know.
Right.
You know, and Chris Carter was the one that I leaned on the most because he played
Kept it
football.
real.
So-
As soon as it happened, he kept it real.
I don't want to hear Matt's. I don't want to hear Stephen A. But Chris, he knows, man. And even some other athletes were like, yeah, why is that ice so far down on this?
Mhm.
So when athletes start pointing that stuff out, I listen.
Yep.
But they messed it up, and now all of a sudden you hear he's pissed off, which gives him room to leave. They may have messed up their whole situation, honestly.
Probably.
They messed up everybody since they fucked up with the Knicks. Like, they dumb shit messed me up this summer. All I got is RJ. Shout out to RJ Barrett, but all I got is RJ Barrett.
I mean, you'll get 3 years of. You basically get that LeBron contract. You get 3 years of KD when he come back from his injury.
Mhm.
But before we go, I want to get, since free agency is gonna start by the time we record again, what are y'all predictions or like who goes where? Just the top, like I guess Kawhi, KD, and we throw in a Lucy, Kyrie. Where
All
do
right,
they end up?
So Kawhi coming back, Kyrie and KD will be in Brooklyn. Clay will be back with the Warriors. Boogie, I don't know. 'Cause nobody talking about him. Kemba, I don't know either. I don't know where he's gonna go. And Jimmy and Tobias, I think Tobias is a wild card. I think he may leave.
I think he's gonna stay. He know he got something good. You haven't heard anything about Tobias saying he's leaving Philly, or he's considering leaving Philly.
I think Jimmy and Tobias will be back, but it's something about Tobias' situation that makes me think he's gonna leave.
I think Kawhi will be smart to. I think he's gonna stay with Toronto. I think KD's gonna sign with the Knicks. I think Kyrie is gonna end up in Brooklyn. I think Kemba stays in Charlotte for some stupid ass reason, and I see D'Angelo Russell going to LA.
Yep. I think Kyrie's going to go to Brooklyn. I think interested to see where Al Horford's going to go.
I think he's going to New Orleans.
Thinking about New Orleans down there. Yeah. I think Kyrie going to go to Brooklyn. D'Angelo, I think he's going to be aiming towards the Lakers if that happens. I think Kawhi's going to stay. I think he's going to run it back another year. I think with everybody coming back, you're not losing nobody. You know, you got a good rapport with the coach. The city's pretty much already paying for your.
They paying for
They're
everything.
paying for everything pretty much. This is my way to stay this one. Do it 1-1.
Yeah.
Do it 1-1 or whatever. Play this year out. run
Say
it
it one
back,
more. Say it one time for the people. B.
Do it 1-1.
The
What?
Kawhi.
Oh, what it do, baby? What it do, baby? Yeah, he might well just come back this season talking about some what it do, baby. And then they try to go for a repeat. Repeat in Toronto. Got a crazy fan base. I say last but not least, saying Kemba gonna come to the Pistons. Maybe gonna trade him off Reggie Jackson. Make that trade off.
Try to get rid of Bobby Schmurder.
Yeah, we're gonna get rid of Bobby Schmurder, man. Kemba Walker gonna be a Piston, and there go our big three: Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, and Kemba Walker.
Kemba Walker, a Piston, and KD, a Nick.
Oh yeah, KD. I think
These dreams.
I don't think KD gonna be a Nick. I think he's gonna stay and get he's gonna get the $31 million, the red shirt $31 million, and just chill out and recoup. I think he's gonna. I think he's.
And
gonna
then
stay.
after the year's up, you think they'll do the trade?
They're not
Probably,
gonna trade
yeah,
him.
they-
They're not gonna trade him.
Probably I can see that
They
happening.
gonna make sure. I
Boogie
mean,
might stay. I think Boogie gonna come back and stay for the low for Golden State. I think he gonna come back.
Not for $6 million, bro.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
think
so.
Nah,
So you
he
think he
give-
going to the highest bidder?
Yeah, he'll probably go to the highest bidder now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means he'll probably go. Shit, to some right. Nah, he couldn't. I was gonna say Utah, but nah, they don't even.
No, they got Rudy. You need to go to a team where they need a center.
Yeah.
But who needs a center nowadays?
I'm trying to think of a lot of teams. that can-
Lakers could use one.
but they don't. I mean, they ain't
But
get
I
that
don't know if
28.
they-
That'll
Yeah,
take a lot of the
but they don't
cap.
have the money,
Yeah.
so. I don't know. I have to look at the list. Shit, maybe he go to Toronto.
Maybe he goes to Boston. They need a center of Al Horford. league.
Portland? Well, no, dude was injured.
Yeah, Nurkic was.
He was injured.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all see Kawhi make fun of his laugh too?
Yeah. at the
Ha when he was doing his
Yeah.
speech.
He did an awkward ass speech and he did a horrible like.
Yeah. Ha. I'm like, oh my God.
Like, yeah. So anyway, all right, man. That's gonna do it for us, man. I think we'll be back one more week to discuss the free agent moves. It may not be Tuesday because we may need a day or two for it to sort out. So it may be like somewhere Thursday, and then we'll do our position rankings for basketball, and then we'll start with football. So, but those may not be live, but they may be in another format that you guys are like. So anyway, stay tuned. So that's gonna do it for us. We'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.